What is up, workout and bodyweight exercise fans? I just finished my meal and I thought of talking today about nutrition and what I eat specifically, since some of you asked that in the last videos. I try to eat and film at the same time, but I realized that I wasn't eating mindfully and I wasn't enjoying my first meal of the day, which is basically the meal I used to break my fast. And that's something I hate, so I'll just bind the two footages together so that you can see me actually eating and see what I'm eating. So, nutrition, how do I eat nowadays? Well, as most of you probably know, at least those of you who've been subscribed long enough, I like intermittent fasting. And what intermittent fasting is, like, really summarized, it's you basically eat in about 8 hours in an 8-hour window, and you fast for another 16 hours. So there are a lot of supposed benefits with that. Not all of them are really proved. A lot of people say that it increases growth hormone, fat burnings, and you lose more weight, you can eat more. But probably from what we've seen from studies and stuff, you probably burn the same amount of calories. It's just an easier way to control your appetite, because if you like eating big meals, like me for example, and you don't like binging on 100 meals a day, having an 8-hour window helps you, keep your hunger under control. And a lot of people are afraid of the fasting period, but that's something you get really easily adjusted to. So what I do is I eat my last meal around 8 o'clock at night, and I eat my second meal the next day around 12 to 2 o'clock, depends on what time I work out and all that. So one thing I've switched though is I've started including a protein shake during my fasting periods, which sort of means that I don't really fast, but it's a liquid meal, it's just some protein. I blend it with milk, so it breaks down slowly. And this is someone also the advocate of intermittent fasting has been recommending. He basically recommends BCAAs, but I think BCAAs are a waste of money, since whey is basically the same thing, whey protein. So in a nutshell, I fast, but during my fast I sort of cheat on my fast by having a protein shake. This allows me to balance my protein doses through the day, and it also helps me control my binging tendency during the first meal, because those of you who fast a lot know that you tend to easily eat too much during that first meal, so you still have to have some control. Intermittent fasting doesn't mean that you won't be hungry at all. You still need to have some kind of balance. But anyway, my first meal, as you can see, is always, almost always 3 eggs, 3 slices of brown bread, a glass of fresh orange juice, and I have 1 slice of bread with my eggs, and the other 2 slices I either have them with cottage cheese or peanut butter. So I basically switch from day to day. So depending on the meal combination, that sums up to about 35 grams of protein. So you have like 20 grams from the eggs. If they're big eggs, you have another about 5 grams of protein from all the bread, and you have another 10 grams of protein from the cottage cheese. So this is about 100 grams of protein of cottage cheese on my bread. So bam, there you go, an easy way to get a lot of protein. And together with my previous protein shake, that amounts to a total of about 50 something grams of protein. I'm a big believer in the importance of protein. If we know one thing from studies, it's that eating enough of protein is very important to keep your muscle mass. So the amount of protein I try to eat on a daily basis is 1.5 times my kilos. So I'm 70 something, 72 to 73 kilos. I try to eat about close to 100 to 110 grams of protein every day. And so this is one of the meals I eat during my day, the first big meal. After that, I will have a snack. Usually that will be a piece of fruit and a handful of nuts, cashews, and almonds. So I'll have in total about 200 calories of nuts and a piece of fruit, and that's basically what I will just have until I eat my second big meal of the day, which is around 7 to 8 o'clock. And what I eat during my second big meal of the day is a big amount of veggies, so I eat at least 3 portions of veggies. And after that I always try to have a decent amount of protein, so like either that's like cottage cheese, Greek yogurt or stuff like that, combined with carbs, or some kind of meat with carbs, or like a lot of fried mushrooms and stuff like that. So basically, to summarize my second big meal of the day, I start with a big amount of veggies. I combine that with a decent amount of a protein source, and I eat a lot of carbs as well, because you have to get your calories in. So like the second meal of the day is like pretty huge. I eat a lot. I'm always like usually satisfied. After that I will have a dessert. Not always, some days yes, some days no. Usually I'll have dessert like half of the week, and I always try to keep that to a minimum of a 10 to 15%, so that's like about 300 calories. During the season though, I'm eating more bigger desserts, because I'm trying to gain some muscle with my Wolverine challenge. If you don't know what the Wolverine challenge is, I'll ask Captain Jack to link it above. So I'm sort of enjoying life nowadays, eating a lot of chocolate, which is basically my favorite sort of cheat meal. What else? Well, during my fasting phase also I didn't mention what I drink, so I have a lot of water during my fasting phase, because I'm just simply thirsty. I'll have 2 cups of coffee, and I generally love coffee, so I would drink a lot of it if I didn't like limit myself. But because I start to get like sort of anxious after 2 cups of coffee, I try to continue the rest of the day, with green tea, which is also something that keeps your energy up, but without like really kicking your nervous system like a coffee. So what else? Do I drink? Somebody asked me if I drink. I do drink. I try to keep it to about once a week. Depends. Sometimes I'll have like I'll drink like 2 or 3 times a week. And when I say I'll drink, during the week I'll have like just a glass, a finger of strong alcohol, like ouzo, which is a Greek drink if you know it. It's sort of like as strong as vodka. So I'll just have like a finger, before food, to sort of like dial the tones down after like a really busy day. And I'll have that like maximum 2 times a week. And I always have my Saturday beer day. So, well, not always, but usually Saturday is the day, I go out and chill out a little bit, hang with friends, and that's when I'll have some beer. Now, I found that the perfect amount of beer for me is a liter. When I go above a liter, so like 2 big glasses, I feel it in my body the next day. So I'll feel that I'm a little bit slower, my stomach is a little bit weirder, my head might be a little bit fuzzy. So 1 liter is the perfect amount of me. Of course that differs for everybody, depending on your weight. I'm 73 kilos, so if you're like a really big guy, maybe you can tolerate a little bit more, or if you're like a really light guy, maybe you should drink a little bit more. So I drink on an empty stomach always, so that way you get you chill out more easily without having to drink too much. And some studies have shown there's a little bit of science showing that you don't store the alcohol calories that much if you have it on an empty stomach. But you know, those are details. I don't think it really matters. In the end of the day, it's total amount of calories. But you know, if you like to be on the safe side, you can try doing that. Of course, I'm not advocating drinking in this video. You know, I'm just giving you my way of balancing it. Because when there's no balance in life, you know, a lot of people I see, they either are doing a clean diet or they're completely screwing their diets. And you know, usually these people go from one end of the spectrum to the other like a yo-yo, which is really the worst way to eat. Diets shouldn't be something you do as a temporary solution. It should be a lifestyle. So that's basically it. I have some notes here. I don't know if I wanted to mention anything else. Yeah, that's basically my diet. Freshly squeezed juice here. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I also have a glass of freshly squeezed juice with my first meal of the day. If I don't do that, I'll have some veggies with it. So you know, I always try to have a little bit of the healthy stuff with each meal. And a ton of healthy stuff, veggies with my last meal of the day. I hope it was helpful. I hope you're liking this daily vlogs. This is probably huge, 11 minutes or something. Anyway, until next time, keep on training.